I got to count
Sports
my
TV,
praise.
man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Like I said, Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. I already know what it is. We back with another one. Things. Listen, we got a lot of things to discuss tonight. New York is going to be out tonight on. But hey, the Knicks have been coming back from some huge deficits. Let's not count these guys out. You know, I got the utmost confidence in the New York Knicks. I think it's going to be spectacular. So just be on the lookout, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got a stat line for you. Brunson with 16.6 assists. We got, Bridges out there, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. So let's see if Mikal could pick things up. Like I said before, Mikal has been, stepping it up in the closing time, in the clutch. Let's see what happens. This always was going to be a gut check game. You got to understand the closeout game is the most, difficult game. And these are the defending NBA champions. Homage must be paid. Let's hope that New York, can go home. I'm not ruling this game out. You got 9:40 or some change to go. But let's hope that they can close this series out, because this would be devastating. I mean devastating if the New York Knicks were to somehow lose this series to the Boston Celtics. I'm not counting them out, but I'm not celebrating either. Everybody wants to prematurely celebrate, but you already know, as a Knicks fan, as Knicks, if you've been observing this team for the last couple of years, you know that, just hold your horses, y'all. And tonight, without Jason Tatum with a torn Achilles, we all know that was a devastating blow. He's going to be out probably for next season as well. Tonight, you had Derek White, stepped up in his absence. So give credit to White. You heard a lot of different things about this basketball team. People was talking about possibly if they were going to be able to stick together, because, the money is just ridiculous with this basketball team. With so much money tied up right now with the Boston Celtics, it's just ridiculous. It's damn near at $1 billion, if you look at the payroll. I got my man Dex in the house. What's the deal, Dex? We're coming back from commercial break. It's 77.99. What's the deal with the New York Knicks? Is it curtains or what?
Well, yeah, I think New York is going to succumb to this one.
Oh.
They have came back on some insurmountable leads, especially from a Boston-led team. So you can never rule them out. I mean, they got the little engine who could in Jalen Brunson, but I just think that Boston is more high-pitched to win than the New York Knicks on the road. I think New York is probably going to save all of their energy for a Fifth Avenue. And all the stars, all the lights will be out at the Mecca at Madison Square Garden. And let's see if the Knicks can close out and get back to the NBA Finals.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, all the pressure going to be on the Knicks in that game. Karl Anthony Towns, he just cut it to 20. It's 79-99. Like I said, this is going to be an uphill battle. If the Celtics were to lose tonight, this would be devastating. But Derek White, he's had the hot hand. He just lost it. Here comes the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson, pushing up with pace on Holiday, and he's fouled. He's going to the line for 2. The New York Knicks could cut this lead to 18. It's 79-99. We got to know that Tom Thibodeau does have a game plan in place. For the New York Knicks, I expect them to completely chip away, but they got to get the stops. Dex, what's the deal with Jalen Brunson? What's your thoughts on him? As an MVP, this guy's just going off.
He's flat out remarkable. Like,
Oh,
just think the small guard era, most people thought it had ended. They thought Isaiah Thomas, was the last of the Mohicans. Unfortunately, they forgot that Rick Brunson had a son. And the little engine who could, or the ant that moved the rubber tree plant, is showing us that small guards are not outdated and they're not archaic. They just have to be spotlighted and put in positions and where they can excel.
yes. Here we go. We got Peyton Pritchard. He putting the moves on Jalen Brunson. Let's see if Brunson could get this stop, and he can't. This guy Peyton Pritchard just hit a step back 3. That was pretty crucial. That just hurt the New York Knicks. They just had the lead cut down to 18, and now the Celtics is back up by 21. So let's see what happens. It's 8:30 to go. Karl Anthony Towns, he can't convert it. Mitchell Robinson can't get the fucking rebound. Jalen Brunson gets the rebound, and he's fouled. And we got 2 more free throws. So JB is doing this is what you have to do. You got to stop this clock and put some points on the board. This is elementary, especially when you in a situation like this with the Knicks and with this deficit. Their best bet is to continue to go to the free throw line. So they need to draw as many fouls as possible, to at least get this game to 10. It's a pathway. The Knicks have been doing it. I know the Celtics is on their heels. They got to make sure that they don't do this again, because if they do it again, they're going to put their ass out. Believe it or not, it looks nasty, but they're continuing to. Brunson is trying to get them in striking distance. They were down 21. Right now they're down 20. Brunson has the opportunity to bring them back down to 19. Let's see if the New York Knicks could get a stop. They can't be giving up these threes. They attacking Jalen Brunson. We all know people look at Brunson as some kind of defensive liability for whatever that reason is. But it is what it is. It's 83-102. Here we go. We got Derek White with the rock. Derek White moving and grooving. Derek White just kicked it to Pritchard, and he just hit a layup. So this is hurting the New York Knicks. This definitely doesn't feel like they're gonna come back. Definitely it's devastating. Jalen Brunson screen and rolling with Mitchell Robinson. Jalen Brunson gets the screen. He in the mid range. He kicks it out to McBride, and that was an air ball. What the hell is going on with New York? Holiday pushing it up. Holiday kicks it out to Jaylen Brown. He pump fakes a 3. He didn't shoot it, but he goes all the way to the cup and finds Holiday. Yeah, the Knicks selling. Yeah, I mean, they selling. I ain't gonna lie, the New York Knicks should be ashamed of themselves, because you can't count Boston out even without Tatum. You got to think that they're gonna play emotional. The Knicks this would be even dirtier. As a Knicks fan, if the Knicks were to somehow lose this series, because how could you imagine that they were up 3-1, Tatum tore his Achilles, everybody thinking it's over. And the Celtics came back and beat you 3 straight without Tatum. Oh my God! I mean, Dex, if that was to happen, don't you think Tom Thibodeau should be fired?
Well, is it an indictment on the Knicks or an indictment on Tatum?
What do you mean by that?
Because is Tatum really all that for the Boston Celtics? If they can do this without him, like they won a championship basically without him.
Yeah, well, we got to understand the Celtics are stacked. We do got to point that out. It's not
That's what I'm saying.
They're not no regular team.
That's what I'm saying. It could be an indictment on Tatum, not the Knicks. The Celtics are a stacked team, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks took their head out their asses and start playing. The Celtics take their head out their asses and start playing leprechaun basketball. because this is uncharacteristic of the Boston Celtics right now, being down 3-1 to a team that appear to be less than them.
Yeah, man, this is definitely horrifying, especially without that man and Jalen Brown. He's gonna have to continue to step up. But New York is gonna be a tough building to win in. I tell you that much right now. It's gonna be very, very hard for the New York Knicks to get a W up there. But it's 83-106 right now, 7:36 to go in the fourth.
Well, so far, Flight, the only game the Celtics won was in New York,
That's it.
unless they win tonight.
No,
So
they're probably gonna win. I mean, I'll be shocked if the Knicks would have somehow. The game, basketball is a game of runs, but it's feeling like Thibodeau wasn't ready to pull the plug. He might give them one last hurrah.
well, you don't want to burn them out this game, and they don't have nothing for next game. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that. That'll be crazy. How crazy would that be, wouldn't it?
He definitely would get fired if he done something
He getting fired. There's no
stupid as
ifs,
that.
ands, or buts about that. About the fire. It's not gonna be able to work. But it's 83-106, 7:36 to go. Do you think the Knicks can somehow come back, or you think it's over?
No, they're done. Turn over the eggs.
Starters still on the floor.
Turn over the eggs, and just put some cheese on it because it's done, and just throw it in the sandwich.
No, the Knicks gotta somehow get up in this game. Let's go. We're gonna need something out of Bridges. He was a key catalyst on all those comebacks. This is sad. I hope they didn't start looking ahead to Indiana. They just got to win one game, and to beat this one team is going to be so hard. How did the Knicks get themselves in this situation? Brunson just drew a foul. Is he going to the line?
Josh Hart is your leading scorer, so that says a lot right now.
Jalen, okay, I see what's going on right now. The Celtics is in the penalty. Brunson just drew a foul on him. It's 7:30 to go in the fourth. Yeah, that was crazy. That was really skilled by Brunson to draw that foul. He going to the line for a free throw. Jalen Brunson, he hits it. First free throw down. 84-106. This is going to be a very uphill battle to climb for New York City, man. I'm just being realistic. We might want to start to think about the next game. But there we go. Another free throw made. So we're down 21. Definitely not the position you want to be in the fourth quarter with 7:20 to go. But we got Drew Holiday pushing up. They give it out to Jalen Brown, picked up by OG. Something going on with Brunson. You won't believe this. He look like he hurt his hand. I hope I'm not tweaking now. Oh no, he found out. Brunson just found out. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, it's about to be messed up for New York now. I thought he got hurt on that play. Now, how the fuck they're gonna put Jalen Brunson on the bench? He gonna challenge it? This is crazy. The play was just challenged. So Brunson just fouled out, but Tom Thibodeau just challenged the play. So let's see what happens if it could turn in New York's favor. That's gonna be key. I'm not sure if it's gonna be possible, but let's see what happens. They can't put Brunson out the game. Come on, this just missed the fourth quarter. What the fuck is wrong with them? This is where refereeing goes wrong. This is messed up. With these referees, got to stay the fuck out the way. Especially in playoff basketball. They said Brunson made illegal contact, so the challenge was unsuccessful. Jalen Brunson just fouled out the game. That's crazy. It's 85-106. 7:19 to go in the fourth. This is a crazy game going on right now. Let's see if New York City could do something. But next game is a must-win for New York, man, because all of the weight of the world is going to be on the Knicks, man. The Celtics might come in there and go crazy. Like, the Knicks have to ride the momentum of that crowd. And then when you start to look at the wins that the Knicks did win, all of the wins were like coming from behind victories where the Celtics had the game won already. So that's what makes you even more alarmed at what the hell is going on. The Celtics think they got life. Here comes Brown. Brown has it. Brown. He shoots it. Big time shot there from Jalen Brown in the mid range. It's 85-108. 6:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Here goes Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges has it. Mikal Bridges on Peyton Pritchard. OG Anunoby has it. Nearly lost it. OG in the mid range. And then, damn, this guy just blocked. Who the hell was that? This guy just blocked. Josh Hart shit. That's Cornette. We got Cornette out there blocking shit. Shit crazy. Salute to everybody in the chat. New York City. Let's see if New York can get it going. Big time miss right there. It's 85-108. 6:37 to go in the fourth. Here we go. Derek White has it. Derek White pushing it up. It gives out to JB. OG on Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown has it. They kick it out to Cornette. And what the fuck? Man, the Knicks just sold out this game, man. They're ready to quit. Tibbs might as well sit everybody. Deuce McBride has it. They give it back to Cat. That's another thing. Karl Anthony Towns, he's another one who should be ashamed of himself. Like, what in the hell is Karl Anthony Towns doing or thinking? Like, seriously. Karl Anthony Towns is just like, he need to play like a big man. That's why they falling apart, man. Brown, he missed the three ball. Here goes Hart. Hart has it. Hart has the rock. Hart pushing it up. Hart gives it out to Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns puts it up, and that's good. It's 89-110. 5:25 to go in the fourth. Here goes Holiday pushing it up on Josh Hart. Drew Holiday gives it out to Cornette. Gives it to JB. JB putting the moves on OG. They give it to Peyton Pritchard for a wide open three ball. Cash money. The Boston Celtics look like they will live to fight another day. It's 113-89. You see what's going on. Karl Anthony Towns has it. He got the mismatch on Holiday. Oh, wow, that's a charge. Was that a charge or a block? Looked like it was a blocking foul. So good play right there. See, that's what Karl Anthony Towns got to do. He got to go all the way to the cup. That's Karl Anthony Towns' biggest problem. He don't go all the way to the cup. That's what he has to do. That's what he has to do. Shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out BTW. He says, I'm jealous, Flight. You got an old school. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. So I got that for Christmas like what was about 3 years ago. Yeah, that shit's nigga. Yeah, but you gotta be nice, to be playing Mortal Kombat with me. Like I'm on some professional shit. well, it's 90, 113, 4:53 to go in the fourth quarter. Um, Big Cat with a free throw line jumper. Let's go, Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday pushing up with pace. Drew moves on from Josh Hart back to Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown has it. Picked up by OG Anunoby. Jalen Brown, crossover, mid range on OG and his money. Yeah, New York is over. Yeah, Tibbs gonna have to sit everybody. What the fuck? Somebody done got a technical. That's why I said this is where refereeing goes wrong. Because number one, Jalen Brunson fouled out of the game, which this is missed the fourth quarter. It looked like they just called a tech on the Celtics, so we'll take it. But Karl Anthony Towns got to play like a center, man. Karl Anthony Towns want to play like a guard. Oftentimes he catches the ball at the 3-point line, and then this guy either trying to shoot a three or he trying to just go all the way to the cup from the 3-point line. So like right now they don't have any other centers in the game, so he got to step up. That's the problem, Karl Anthony Towns got to be a bigger component for the Knicks. I don't know what the hell he came here for, but okay, now it's your time now. Like, oh man, he lost the ball. Karl Anthony Towns and threw the goddamn ball out of bounds. There we go. Drew Holiday has it. Drew Holiday kicks it out to JB. OG Anunoby still on JB. Peyton Pritchard for three. He been money. And he missed it. Pritchard finally missed a goddamn shot. He been making every fucking day he done shot. OG Anunoby, moves. Oh man. OG Anunoby missed the dunk. So what I will say is Thibodeau is still keeping them in the game. I don't know if this is smart because you got a big game. That game is going to have so much pressure in Madison Square Garden. I mean, it's just going to be immense. The pressure that's going to be just descending on New York City. Everybody's thinking about Indiana. You better be thinking about the Celtics. And then you got to think Brown going into New York. He like $300 million or something like that. He done made. He's got to go. He got to do something. Forget about Tatum, Brown. If you're a Celtics fan. But to see Karl Anthony Towns falling all over the floor, it just don't look right. I need Karl Anthony Towns got to be more aggressive because you got to think even in the other matchups like Miles Turner, he aggressive. Miles Turner shoot too, if you would even get there. But let's not think ahead. Oh man, and they had no answer for Derek White tonight. Derek White might have 40 points. Let me look at Derek White stats. He got 32, 3 and 2. Derek White been hot all game. They had absolutely no answer for Derek White. Josh Hart, 3-ball, money, 96, 117, 3:10 to go in the fourth quarter. We got Derek White. Derek White kicks it out to JB. OG Anunoby on him. They give it out to Drew Holiday for a wide open top of the key 3-ball, and that's money. So yeah, it's over with, man. You got to stick a fork in New York. I'm trying to figure out when Thibodeau's gonna pull the plug. And the Knicks, they go on these scoring droughts. These big time scoring droughts. They got to stop this, man. The Knicks got to be concerned about that game 6. That is a do or die game 6. Because if they come to game 7 in Boston, they're going to lose. I'm telling you right now, this is game 7. All the pressure on the Knicks, all of it. Not some of it, but all of it. So let's see what happens with them. Let's see what's at stake for New York City. It's 96, 120, 2:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Derek White, he's sitting down. Jalen Brown is sitting down. So the Celtics are clearing out their bench. The Knicks just didn't get the job done, man. And for a team that's starving like New York, man, you got to do it with all the pressure on New York, where you know this and you know that. For you to lose this game, maybe they was inspired by Tatum, but still, you know what you have to do. You know the pressure is on you. Don't give the Celtics no life. 3-ball from the C's. Like I said, the Knicks didn't clear their bench out too. So they should, like I said, they should be ashamed of themselves, man. If you're a Knicks fan, this is bullshit. It should have never went down like this. They got to get their whole situation together. 2:11 to go in the fourth quarter. 96-120. So it looks like the Indiana Pacers are going to be well rested. More than likely this series is probably going 7. Let's hope that the Knicks can do that. Well, I hope that they can somehow secure that next game in New York City. Like I said, they should have the crowd behind them with a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals on the line. The Knicks got to do it for themselves, do it for the city. They're going to have to put this team down, because they're not going to go down easily. Let's just hope that in New York they miss shots, they could get some calls and go from there. 3-ball off. Here come the Celtics, big time dunk. This is a sad day for New York City. A lot of people thought we was gonna be rejoicing and celebrating. There won't be no celebrating tonight. With Jalen Brunson losing this series. Potentially the devastation. That would take place if that would have happened, man. I wouldn't even want to know. I would not even want to know. We got a mess right there. Oh my goodness. Who the hell is that? Davidson? They got these bench players that came off the bench for Boston and cooked up 125-98. The Knicks, man, they finished. Now everybody was praising the New York Knicks. Where the hell are going to be the praise now? The Knicks know what they got to do. Everything going to be all for nothing if they were to lose this game 6. Just going to a game 7 is just scary. Because you know that it's going to be hell on earth to win in Boston in a game 7 for anybody. So they gotta treat this game 6 like it's your whole entire season. You cannot come back here. That's why they should have got the job done this game. But maybe they did this for Tatum, but you don't want a situation where they just get inspired and they just take off right before our eyes and they become some kind of competitive championship threat. That'd be pretty devastating if that was to occur. Oh, Deuce. Cash. Deuce McBride. That was a turnaround 3-ball. That was cash. Shout out Deuce McBride. 102-127, man. The New York Knicks fall tonight. This was a decent effort, man, but I mean it was lackluster. It didn't get the job done. So they know what they have to do going back to New York City. You fuel yourself off that crowd, that audience. New York City and Broadway, they do not have Jason Tatum. You're going to have to do something. Okay, Derek White caught you by surprise tonight. You got to make sure nobody else catch you by surprise because the Celtics just forced a game 6. You can't let them force a game 7. It just cannot happen. I'm telling you, man, I ain't never here to be funny with you right now. The New York Knicks cannot afford to end up in some kind of game 7 situation with the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics is too good of a basketball team to play with. Knick fans, I told everybody to slow down. People probably didn't hear me. They wasn't listening. Every New York Knicks fan know what time it is right now. This is the time where we just lose. With the Celtics, this is just going to be even worse. Like they couldn't have scripted any better as a Knicks fan. Where the Knicks fall in this manner. It's going to be pressure on the New York Knicks, but it's also going to be pressure on Jalen Brown. It's pressure on Jalen Brown from this day forward. Because next season they're going to be hobbled too. Tatum's probably going to miss the whole entire season. If you the Celtics, you just going to hold him out. You want Tatum to come back 150,000% healthy, not 50-50, not 90%, trying to rush him back for the playoffs. That's not going to happen. The Celtics going to probably roll out their squad, whatever happens. That's an Achilles. Tatum did get the surgery the next day. That was very fast. I heard that he got the surgery by one of Kobe Bryant's doctors and Tiger Woods, if I'm not mistaken. They talked about he suck out though. He seek those guys, their doctors and their medical teams and stuff like that. So the best doctors in the world is going to be working with Jason Tatum, but he's over and done with now. I was actually, I don't want to say, you never want to wish an injury on nobody, but I noticed the fact that when Tatum went down, that the pathway for the Knicks should be a little bit more easy, and for some reason, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case because the Knicks are falling apart. They're not scoring consistently for whatever reason. It's too many things that we could point from with the New York Knicks, man. Tonight, Porzingis 1 point. Like I said, it's like we gotta figure this out. Derek White just caught us. Brown had 26. Pritchard has 17. Cornette with 10. So these are the things that you got to think about as if you're the New York Knicks. How in the hell did you allow all of these guys to come up like this? That's a huge issue. So in New York, you don't expect these guys to sustain this. The role players should not play that well in New York City. That crowd is going to be raucous. But what I will say about New York City, unlike other cities, is the Knicks don't really have the best home court advantage. Because all of this stuff, excitement, rappers, celebs, and movie stars, they could be popping out for the opposing squad and not even know it. Who's to say these guys don't fire up Jalen Brown? So the Knicks gotta somehow win this series, man. They gotta gut this game out. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they have to do it. They gotta figure this out though. I think they are. I think the Knicks are smart enough. I think Tom Thibodeau. I still kind of believe in Thibodeau, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's been really good for the New York Knicks. I mean, ever since he came to the Knicks, look what has happened. These other coaches couldn't do it. They had Hornacek and all these guys, Fisher, and I mean, come on. These guys was not made for New York City. So Thibodeau came here with those principles, his defensive situation. We got to understand everywhere Thibodeau has went, he has went to the playoffs. So give him credit. If he had a healthy Derrick Rose, he probably would have won a championship. So let's stop forgetting about those teams he had in Chicago that was knocking on the door every year. It says Cat starts the game with 3 fouls off I'm telling you, Karl Anthony Towns is another problem too, because he wants to be a finesse big man. That's the biggest problem for Karl Anthony Towns and all of this finesse shit. Karl Anthony Towns must stop trying to be a finesse player. We need an aggressive big man in New York City. We need a guy we could throw the ball to in the block and make something happen. Karl Anthony Towns want to catch the ball at the 3-point line and shoot threes and shit. We got the shooters. I think that something got to give. He has that Anthony Davis syndrome. where the man is 7 foot, but he don't want to play. He don't want to play center. I understand you're a good shooter. Hey man, play from the inside out. Whatever happened to that? These like basic fundamentals in the game. But for some reason, we've gone away from that to all this analytics shit. So that then you got a guy that's 7 foot who's not attacking the basket, or when he does, he's going up rather soft. Missing layups and shit like that. He says they need to run offense through OG at times. Yeah, I mean OG, he's on and off. You never know what you're gonna get from OG. Whether it could be 40 or 5. But we do know that OG is gonna play great defense. So we got to give OG Anunoby major props. For all the things that he's done. For the New York Knicks, man. OG Anunoby has been a massive pickup for the Knicks. Massive. I can't say it enough. The Knicks traded R.J. Barrett quickly. People was a little hurt by that, but I knew I wasn't. They drafted a guy. You see what he brings to the table. He's made for prime time, point blank period. But yeah, man, OG tonight was 6 points. That's not cutting it. Especially when you've played better. Make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be bringing more content, news, updates, and more. Shout out PS2 Gaming Forever. Shout out Angel Bermudez. Salute to all y'all in the chat. So, I mean, it's big business what's taking place right now. It's just big business. It's just point blank period. The New York Knicks, it's time to ring the fucking alarm, man, because the Knicks are in serious grave danger of losing this series. There's no other way to slice a dice what's occurring right now. The Knicks snuck out there with that game. You got to think about something, and I was just thinking, like, Tom Thibodeau was kind of running circles around Joe Mazzulla throughout the last couple of, games, but I wasn't ready to start ringing that alarm and letting people know what was happening. I needed to see more and more things transpire, and as I seen more and more things transpire, this guy Mazzulla is figuring things out. And then I really think that this team is motivated and they are going to play driven because they watch Tatum just blow his goddamn leg out on the floor. That's something that's going to inspire a basketball team. And I'm expecting, the Boston Celtics to be a very hard outing in New York City. I think the game is going to go down to the wire. This season is on the line. The Knicks, they're going to have to take it. If they just want to play like they've been playing, we're going to go all the way to 7. And hopefully they figure it out in the last closing seconds. But shit would not be in their favor headed to Boston. You're not going to have things on your side in Boston. You're going to have things a little bit better on your side. You would think in New York you should get the calls. So you got to hurry up and wrap this up. But if you Indiana, you laughing, because everybody think it's going to be New York, but hey, it could be Boston. I bet you Carlisle, like, I'm going to start planning for Boston. Because they already know, like, the Knicks is suspect. You can't get ready for the Knicks until they get there. I do think they will have a easier, series against the Indiana Pacers. Indiana kind of, they walk through their opponents. They did. Let's keep it real. Milwaukee, they was a shell of themselves. They were all banged up. They was playing 1 against 5, So, I mean, all you had was to deal with was Giannis. He had no help except for that one game that Gary Trent did a little something, but then he blew the game at the end. So, I mean, what the hell was that for? So, I mean, it's just a lot of things, that's going on right about now, but bottom line is the Knicks have to win this game. Everything is on the line. If the Knicks lose this game, I think it's time to let some people go. People have to pay. There's going to be ramifications behind this. These guys traded all these picks, and it hurts to see what they gave. What they gave away for Luka. That trade for Luka with just really with nothing. And what we had to do to give up Mikal Bridges, even though it was the Brooklyn Nets, we all know Brooklyn and New York, they don't really do business, but man, screw all of that. The NBA could oversee a team getting fleeced, so I mean, it's just crazy. The Knicks got, and we still don't know what them picks are going to be, but still losing Mikal, it's just crazy how Brooklyn just, was able to abstract so much assets from New York, and this is why it's going to be devastating if the Knicks were to lose this series, because I think you got to start to look at Leon Rose, Worldwide West, and then it's going to start with Thibodeau. I think Thibodeau, he gets the axe for this. Unfortunately, they love Thibodeau. It's going to be tricky with Tibbs because I don't know, what you do with this. Because you got to think next year is the key. The Knicks, I'm going to be honest with you, the Knicks' best opportunity to win an NBA title is this season and next season. You want to know why? Because there's no Jason Tatum. That means I believe the Celtics is not going to be that powerhouse, that we kind of, that juggernaut. And still, you have to pay all these people. Let's say they lose because it's still beating the Knicks is going to be an uphill battle, even though people already think they can, but it's still going to be hard. If they were to somehow do it, who's to say that all these guys, what are even going to be coming back? I'm hearing that it's very expensive to keep this team together. Ownership is not feeling what's happening. And if they lose in the second round, I mean, goddamn, just let everybody go. So that's what it's coming to, man. I'm devastated with the New York Knicks right now. I really am. I wish that the New York Knicks would have figured things out, but for some strange reason, they wasn't able to do so. But shout out to the Knicks, man, because this next game is going to be everything. It's going to be the whole entire season. They must get this job done. It's not even funny, at this point with the New York Knicks, man. They've been through a lot, just a lot throughout this whole entire year. And they got the Celtics right where they want them. You can't ask to put the Celtics in a much more devastating position to really lay down that devastating, crushing blow, and the Knicks just couldn't do it. The start of next game is going to be key because, like I said, the way the Knicks have been playing, they've been playing from behind, and now without Tatum, they're going to be playing differently. You see White, the Knicks going to turn some more attention to Derek White, but I think without Tatum makes them more unpredictable. You really don't know who's going to kill you. I think it could be anybody at any given night now, while everything kind of looks like it's looming around Brown. Brown didn't really he didn't go crazy. But shout out to White, man. He definitely chose the right day to have a game. It's going to be key, man. The Knicks, what we going to do? Shout out to Brunson. I mean, what the hell can we say about him? No matter what, this guy Brunson, you put New York City on his back. I can't believe we are in the era where could be possibly witnessing the greatest New York Knick of all time. Like it's going to be very hard pressed to find somebody better than him. And if he gets to the NBA Finals, you might have to say, listen, is he better than Carmelo Anthony? It's getting there, He said the game was rigged. Shout out to Mr. DJ Blaze. It's crazy. The game was definitely, pretty horrifying in my opinion. I just thought that the New York Knicks didn't get the job done, and they could possibly really pay for this, because it's gonna be hard, to win that game, in New York City with everybody just all over you thinking you're gonna win, the pressure, the crowd, like I said, that don't always work in Knicks fans' favor. Just coming to the game, and the Knicks wild disrespectful. They all on the internet talking crazy. Everybody believes that they just ready for Indiana. It's like we just moved on. They cannot allow, because let me tell you something, Indiana wouldn't even allow this. You gotta close the door on the Celtics. Somebody gotta go for that switch, and you would think that it would be, Brunson. Like Brunson he's played in some tough games. I think he was in the conference finals in Dallas. So this guy knows a little thing about some tough games. And he was actually exactly what New York City needed. Who the hell would have thought it would have came an undersized guard who would have brought all of this to the table? So I'm ecstatic with the New York Knicks, even in defeat. This is the best New York Knicks team we had, in some time. It's very reminiscent of the good old days. Everybody says that. The way time. That's why it's gonna be tricky to say who gets fired, in an event they lose this series. All jokes aside, it's going to be tricky because on one hand, all the pressure and heat is on Thibodeau right now because it's at stake. But who the hell has came to New York and did what he did? Who's to say that the next guy is going to be able to do it? I think you got to be real fragile with letting Tom Thibodeau go in an event if something goes wrong. Because you don't know who's going to be able to come in and really, take them now. They're going to get, the only way I would say that is unless they get Van Gundy, from the Clippers. If they don't get Van Gundy from the Clippers, just forget about it. So if you're going to let Tibbs go, you got to bring in something like that. You can't bring in a project. It got to be a ready-made dude, And another thing that Tibbs does is he allows World Wild West and Leon Rose, these guys, they could just sit back and chill. Thibodeau gonna speak for the organization. He out there. This guy Thibodeau was a former basketball president of operations up there in Minnesota. So he knows a lot. That's why you could see him hit the ground rolling in New York and take off. This guy was it's like I say, he came back home. I think he was coaching there with the Knicks back in the days. So shout out to Tibbs, man. But he got to get this one game. And I know that's what everybody's thinking. You had Josh Hart ordering Uber Eats and all kind of shit like that. What the hell is Josh Hart doing shit like that for? These things can come back and bite you in the ass. You at the podium talking about, I just wanted to order some Uber Eats. That wasn't a good look. It just wasn't. It was a horrible look, if you ask me. Horrible. Like I said, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports. You already know what it is. Post-game live coverage. The New York Knicks fall. It's unfortunate, because people was ready to celebrate, get ready for the conference finals. We thought we was really going to do something. But it's like we just came around and we back full circle. And now what? But I got the utmost confidence in the New York Knicks, man. If you're a Knicks fan, you're going to be rocking with them that next game, and I might be standing up the whole game like I'm Thibodeau. But I really just feel that the Knicks, this is going to be the toughest series, in the East. I think this is their toughest battle, despite the Eastern Conference Finals on the horizon. Like I told you, Indiana didn't really play nobody. Milwaukee, that was 1-on-5. Cleveland, I mean, there was a shell of themselves. Cleveland was the exact same thing that happened to the New York Knicks last year. That's what Indiana ran into. But actually, the Knicks were a better team. But come on, you can't come on. Did you see Garland? I mean, Garland was playing like a superstar all year long. The Garland was clearly, just he was like he had no business playing. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you. And Darius Garland deserves some credit because Darius Garland basically he let me show you Darius Garland's stat lines. Like I said, for this year it was just 20. You know, yeah, like I said, couple seasons he averaged 21, but this year, he averaged 20. But in the playoffs, I mean, the guy he couldn't really do too much. He did the best he could. He missed a lot, a lot of games, as you can see. But then as he went up against the Indiana Pacers, you know, 10 points. So he was able to break out with 21 one game. But the last game, an elimination, 11 points, all this in 33 minutes. So the man, clearly something was wrong with him, so it is what it is. Anthony Jefferson says the game, um, pardon me, says the game will be all right. The road players from Boston are different on the road. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. I think that Boston's a good road team too. So we got to point that out. I'm surprised Steph Curry not playing. They probably just said Curry is done. I'm shocked they're not letting Curry play in elimination. So he might, he ain't even right. So they cool with that. Y'all let me know if y'all think the Minnesota Timberwolves are gonna pull this game out. And do you think that the Knicks could somehow win game 6? How key would that be? I think it could be a massive W for the New York Knicks. Massive. So only time will tell, to be honest with you, y'all. It's flight sports, man. There's a lot of things going on with New York City, man. The Celtics, they forced the game. So now it's up to New York City to go up there and force themselves a goddamn game. It's our time now. What the hell are the New York Knicks gonna do? That's what I want to know. What the hell are they gonna do? They got to go up there and win. Period. You home. You got to protect. That's what all good teams do. You got to protect home court. If you can't protect home court, what the hell are we doing? Madison Square Garden got to be a hard ass place to play. These people can't just come here and have a party in the damn playoffs. Even God willing, you win this series. You see Tyrese dude, I want to see the clamps put on him. All these shooters, the Indiana got a predictable offense. It's just penetration, kick out. So it's just, come on, man, just stay on top of them shooters. We're gonna put OG or Mikal. We're gonna switch it up every now and then, and we're gonna lock Tyrese Halliburton completely down. My problem is gonna be Karl Anthony Towns. He's better than Miles Turner. But the thing is this: Miles Turner could be more physical at times. So if Karl Anthony Towns want to play like a guard, I mean, we're gonna be in trouble. But if he want to be a big man and get aggressive, it's over. Mr. DJ Blaze says Knicks in game 6. I hope so. So that's gonna be key if the Knicks can somehow squeak that out. It's gonna be hard, to get it done. But I do think that, they're gonna be able to do it. I really do. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Shout out to Jalen Brunson, Mr. New York City, the captain. We got to point that out. He's given the New York Knicks everything they could have asked for. They ain't have no point guard. You remember how many years the Knicks ain't have a point guard? And now to say that they got missed the fourth quarter, that's crazy. Like I said, Carmelo didn't even do these things. And I'm an avid Carmelo Anthony fan. So he's doing everything that we wanted to see Carmelo Anthony do. So he's gonna get that statue. I mean, his jersey already. They should just retire it now. So I mean, it's that real. So give him major props, man. I'm just real ecstatic. With Jalen Brunson, man, he's one of the best players in the league. Period. They got to start showing Jalen Brunson more love. Shit don't make sense. That JB don't get the love. You know, shit crazy out here, man. What y'all think about the Minnesota Timberwolves? Do you think that Minnesota is a threat? Do you think that they could possibly go to the NBA Finals? Y'all let me know your thoughts on that. I really want to know that. Um, like I said, Anthony Edwards is the truth. I mean, I just got to call it how I see it. Uh, it's just, this guy's just this guy. He's top five, man. He might be top. He might be a top five. He's a top five player in the league, man. Point blank, period, man. You see what he does in the playoffs. The guy is completely unguardable. It's like there's no answer for him. This guy eventually is gonna go off. Butler tonight with 2 points. Edwards with 3. That's just not gonna cut it. Shout out to Autism. You already know in the chat. Jimmy Butler kicking it out. Jimmy has it, kicking out to Buddy Hield. Anthony Edwards picking up Buddy Hield. They dump it out to Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, mid-range jump over Nas Reed. That was an air ball. Rudy Gobert picks it up. Here comes Dante DiVincenzo pushing up with pace. They kick it out to Nas Reed on Kuminga. They kick it out. Oh, alley-oop. Big-time dunk down from Rudy Gobert. Here we go. It's 21-27. 1:40 to go in the first quarter. Kuminga going all the way to the cup, and he scores it. Big-time score right there from Kuminga. 23-27, 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Here goes Alexander Walker pushing it up. Here comes defense. Kuminga picks up Alexander Walker. Buddy Hield picks him up. They kick it out to Edwards. Edwards pump fakes a 3. Step back, 3-ball. Edwards off. Rebounded. Here we go. Buddy Hield pushing up with pace, picked up by Alexander Walker. They kick it out to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler step back mid-range on Dante DiVincenzo. They kick it out to Kuminga. Back to Jimmy. And the ball got intercepted. We got Steph Curry on the bench. Steph Curry, I know he can't wait to get back into this series. I bet he can probably come back next game. But they probably just need to get this one. Let's see if Golden State could get it. It's 23-27. What I will tell you about Anthony Edwards is he's going to go for the juggler. Anthony Edwards. Here he goes. Dante DiVincenzo for 3, and that's money. And Dante DiVincenzo don't play around either. He going to put their ass out. He was in New York. Stolen. Minnesota not playing. Minnesota, Edwards, he missed a finger roll. Edwards missed a finger. Your Minnesota gonna win this game. You could book that. Edwards is the killer. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Buddy Hield for 3, and that is off. Rebounded by Nas Reed. Here comes Anthony Edwards. Kuminga picking up Edwards. Here comes the screen. Oh my goodness, Edwards with the moves. He put the moves on Kuminga, broke him. Directing traffic. Here comes the screen. Anthony Edwards moving and grooving. Anthony Edwards got the ball stripped, and he throw it up, and damn, Golden State nearly hit that. So it's a crazy game going on right now. It's 23-30. We headed to the second quarter right now. It's big time ramifications, going on, in this, playoff situation. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves up 3-1. If you're a Minnesota fan, you got to understand something, man. Y'all should have very well been in the NBA Finals. The way I seen y'all do the Denver Nuggets last year was just filthy. I couldn't believe y'all took down the defending NBA champions. He says, the 2025 Warriors overrated flight. I can know they're not overrated. Curry got hurt. Steph Curry was injured. How the hell are we gonna say that they overrated? I think that's too weak. Now we got to pause for a second. Steph Curry and these guys, they will be good, but health got in the way. So it is what it is. Golden State got time though. You know, they're gonna figure it out. I'm hearing they're gonna go for Giannis. Everybody gonna put a bid in. But what I think, with all this stuff going on with Giannis, I think Giannis is gonna screw it all up, which is gonna be good by just coming out and saying, this is where I want to go. That's what is needed for Giannis right now. He needs to literally come out and let everybody know this is the team I want to go to. And then he's gonna be fine. But until then, shit is gonna be all in limbo. You know, it's crazy right now. It's 23-30 right now. Minnesota, just up. Anthony Jefferson says, should Charlotte trade the 4 pick for a proven veteran? It depends on what that veteran is. I mean, I can't rule that out. Knowing Charlotte, they fool around and trade the pick. The guy turns into a fucking all NBA superstar. So it gets tricky. You know how you do this. It's all about who the player is. You know, you talking about getting Giannis? Yes, especially if you Charlotte. You know, you Charlotte. You starving. This new guy is not going to be able to do what Giannis is going to do. Giannis is going to get you to the playoffs next season right now in Charlotte alone. But it is what it is. He'll have better players around him in Charlotte. So it is what it is, man. I got LaMelo and Miller. I think they're better than just about everybody else on that Milwaukee Bucks roster. That roster was kind of sus, especially without is Jimmy Butler better than James Harden in your opinion? Yeah. You know, I know people are going to look at James Harden as that electrifying scorer, but that doesn't mean that you're better just because you can shoot better than somebody. It doesn't. It's 23-30, 11:50 to go in the second. Here we go. Alexander Walker, they kick it out. Alexander Walker gives it to Dante DiVincenzo. Back to Alexander Walker for 3, and that's off. Rebounded by Poole from the Golden State Warriors. Here goes Jimmy, putting the moves on Nas Reed, going all the way to the cup, and he scores it. That's an and 1. So Golden State, they're right in it. It's 25-30. They're not looking to give up. We all know this is a must-win for the Golden State Warriors. Let's see if they can get it done. It's going to be very, very difficult for Golden State to win this basketball game. Jimmy, big-time free throw jumper. It's 26-30. 11:25 to go in the second quarter. Alexander Walker kicks it to Nas Reed. Back to Walker. They dump it out. They're moving. Minnesota moving the ball. They're playing hot potato. Alexander Walker, they lose it. Here we go. Golden State going to the cup. Buddy Hield for 3, and it is off. Rebounded by Jimmy Butler. They kick it out. The pole. He missed it. Rebounded by DiVincenzo, but dude just snatched. I think it was a foul now. It's going to Minnesota. DiVincenzo just a winner. You know, that's what I'm gonna say about Dante DiVincenzo. He just get the job done. You know, I wish he didn't leave New York. You know, that's devastating that he had to leave New York. We didn't really get an opportunity to really, you know. Nas Reed, big time score from Nas, 26-32. 10:50 to go in the second. Oops. Stolen. Here comes DiVincenzo. Oh, DiVincenzo with a banger. Yeah, DiVincenzo just dunked. It's 26-34. That was crazy. That was a grown man move from Dante DiVincenzo. That's what I said. Minnesota, they got the players to rip your heart out. I want to see what Julius do. What he bringing to the table? They kick it out to Nas Reed. Back to Alexander Walker. Nas Reed has it. They couldn't convert it. The ball, we got a kick ball. So it's all y'all in the chat. Got a crazy game going on right now with Minnesota. They're trying to advance to the next round. Let's see if they will prevail. It's going to be very difficult. But yeah, man, this is crazy. 28-34. Julius Randle putting the moves on Buddy Hield. Julius Randle with a grown man move, and he scores it. Julius been playing good in Minnesota. I haven't seen Julius play this well in the playoffs ever. Jimmy Butler has it. Give credit to Julius Randle. That's probably what they needed, a guy like Julius. You know, what the hell, Julius? He only got 5 points. Nothing spectacular. Nothing to call home about. But it's been good nonetheless. It's 28-36. Jimmy with a big time free throw line jumper. That's good. Shout out to everybody in the chat. This is a big game for Jimmy Butler too. Jimmy Butler is in a very tough spot. He's got to figure out some things. You know, it's a crucial game. You know, they brought you to Golden State. I know he came to play alongside people, but right now you're dealing with some injuries, so they're gonna need you to bring that Miami intensity. That player that took down the Denver Nuggets in Game 2 of the Finals. They need that Jimmy, that intensity. Here we go. They're moving it. Julius to Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker with a floater, and that's good. That was crazy. It's 29-38, 9 minutes to go in the second. Here goes the Golden State Warriors. Green has it. They get healed. Yeah, Golden State just look lost. Their offense is stupid. Buddy Hield going all the way to the cup, but Jimmy with the putback slam. He should have got his tech right there. He was holding on to the rim. But he could say he didn't want to hurt nobody. And I think it was a foul there. So Golden State get the 2 points and the foul shot. So they got an opportunity to cut the lead to 8. And he does. Actually cut it to 7. It's 30-38. Salute to everybody in the chat. Unbelievable matchup right now in the second round playoff series. Here we go. Alexander Walker to kick it out. Dante DiVincenzo has it. 3 ball, Nas Reed. That's off. Big time miss right there. Nas Reed loses the ball on Golden State. Jimmy can't get it. So they just gotta play better. That's all. Anthony Jefferson says they let Chris Paul go. Yeah, shout out to autism. It's 31-38. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. There we go. Oh, Jimmy, they kick it out. 3 ball, that's all. It's 31-38. 8 minutes to go in the second. It's a crazy game right now. Let's see if this game goes down to the wire. Jimmy Butler about to inbound the basketball. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, 31-38. Jimmy kicks it out to Buddy Hield, to Pods. Kuminga back to Pods. They got 3 seconds to shoot it. And then goddamn Nas Reed just fouled Pods. It says Masai Ujiri, is being eyed by the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, how the hell are they gonna be able to get Masai Ujiri to Atlanta? That would be crazy. I mean, he probably ready to leave. He done already? That's crazy. He done with Atlanta already. Unbelievable. Salute to all y'all, ladies and gentlemen. You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports. Big things going on. Crazy. We got an unbelievable situation going on right now. It's 32-38. Here we go. Mike Conley. We got Anthony Edwards. Edwards has it. They're ready to send 3 people at Edwards. Mike Conley screen a roll with Nas Reed. Nas Reed has it. Julius Randle, corner 3. That's off. Julius, another 3, and that's off. Give Julius credit. He not letting it go. Old Julius would have been real reluctant right there in that position. But give Golden State credit. It's 34-38. They're not letting up either. There we go. 3 ball. Cash. Anthony Edwards, he ain't playing. He's starting to turn it up. Pods for 3. That's off. It's 36-41. This is a wild, ridiculous game right here. Let's see if they can somehow figure this game out. Let's go. Butler with the rebound, 36-41. Kuminga back to Pods. Pods going serve in, give it to Kuminga. Kuminga step back, mid-range, that's off. Here we go. Stolen. Buddy Hield all the way to the cup, and that's good. Shout out to Buddy Hield. You already know what it is. Shit crazy. Salute to all y'all in the chat. Y'all already know what it is.